What is the one thing, apart from a vaccine and apart from treatment, that you need to get people back on the plane? What will it take for me and Alex to feel safe on a plane? Is it air quality?
Oh, I think we've got all those things in place. I think the main thing that's holding back travel is the purpose. You don't have events, you don't have sporting events, you don't have large gatherings, you don't have conferences, you have quarantines in certain states, and it just limits the ability for people to do something when they arrive. That's the main thing. I think the air travel component, the airports, the airplanes, we have significant safety protocols in place. You asked about the air quality. The air quality on an airplane is like a hospital. There are HEPA filters that capture 99.97% of the particles, including pathogens, in the air, and it's recirculated every several minutes. So it's a very safe environment. It's just in relative terms. We're dealing with a pandemic, and there's clearly risk.
You mentioned that you are aggressively adjusting your flights due to sort of this lack of demand. The cash burn about 23 million in the last quarter a day. What does aggressively adjust? Can you give me some perspective on that?
Well, it's just not business as usual. In a normal year, we have a very good read on trends, on bookings, and match capacity and demand very easily, and it's not that volatile. Now we're in an environment where it's almost like we're starting our business from scratch. And we had very strong bookings in place for the third quarter at the beginning of this month. And then over the last several weeks with the spike in COVID-19 cases, we've seen the bookings slow down dramatically, and we've also seen an increase in cancellations. So we had assumed that more people would be traveling relative to the second quarter, and therefore we've added a lot of flights. So we'll just need to go in and, again, according to historical norms, more aggressively pull back on some of those flights and try to get the supply closer to the demand.
How much of those pullbacks will be forever pullbacks? So, you know, are business meetings not going to be in person anymore, or a percentage of them means that you'll have to leave just planes grounded forever?
Great questions. You know, I firmly believe that we'll get through this. This too shall pass, and things will get back to normal. A lot of people say that things will never be the same again. Well, never is a really long time, but I do agree with the concern in your question, which is I think that we have to be prepared that to get back to 2019 traffic levels may take a long time. Business travel in particular is almost non-existent. So the people that are traveling are more leisure-oriented passengers, so we're offering very low fares, and we just have to be prepared for a low-fare environment for a long time, and then just do the best we can to react when demand comes back. Then we can put more capacity in place. So we're very much in a let's execute, let's monitor the results, and then we'll have to adjust. And so very heavy management. It's very tactical compared to what we're all normally used to.
At what point do those tactics have to be involuntary layoffs?
At the point where you just don't see a path to positive cash flow. And, you know, right now we're pretty far away from that. We were on a good trend in June where I could see a path maybe by the end of the year where we were break-even cash flow. And then I think you could relax a little bit with the concern about layoffs, pay cuts, benefit cuts, all those really draconian steps. So right now we don't have any intention of pursuing those until at least the end of the year. And again, we'll just have to monitor. It's literally every day. Every day we're monitoring what the demand is and considering adjustments. And so we're very, very active in trying to stay, you know, as much as we can on top of this.
How many seats do you need to fill to break even? And how many of those seats need to be business travels or business seats?
You were asking about the air quality, and one of the things that we're doing in addition to just the superb cabin air quality that we have is that we're not booking the airplanes full. So we're open seating at Southwest, but essentially that means that all the open seats will be unoccupied. So that's a 2/3 load factor. And we need to be somewhere in that 60 to 70% load factor to break even on a cash flow basis. And load factors aren't half of that at this point, but we got up close to 50% in June. But at some point, we'll have to begin filling the middle seats, I think, to hope to break even. And we're not going to book the middle seats at least through the end of October.
Wow. Okay. So it's a really rough layout that you're laying out for us. And I wonder, sort of, talk to me about government. Have you talked to officials in the White House, what the relationship is there, or issuing any more debt? Like, where are you going to get the extra funding if it really comes down to that?
Yeah, I don't think where we are, speaking with you today is a surprise. It's certainly, actually, our second quarter results are better than what we expected if you go back to the end of the first quarter. So there's nothing really new in that sense. We need the pandemic to be crushed here so people can begin to regain their confidence. We talked with the federal government all the time. And of course, the CARES Act was instrumental in getting the country stabilized in the face of a very serious recession. Our balance sheet is very strong. We've raised over $17 billion in financings this year, which is well beyond what a normal year might be $1 billion, just to put it in perspective. So we have plenty of cash to see us through years of this kind of turmoil. So we're very well prepared for this, and investment grade credit ratings, all of those things are in place. We've got a low cost structure, and I think most importantly, we need customers. And we're a trusted brand, and we're a strong brand and offering a really good product. So all of that will be key going forward.
In 20 seconds, you took also quite a lot of money from the government. What happens when that money runs out? And do you think some of your competitors will have to go bankrupt?
Well, that's a small part of the financings that we have done. It's a small part of the $17 billion that I mentioned. So that money won't, quote, run out. That's in our cash accounts. We've got to manage to break even cash flow. This can't continue indefinitely without bankruptcies, so I think it's anybody's guess when industries and individual companies become healthy again. We've got what we need to see our way through, and the credit goes to all the people at Southwest. They're working very hard to keep Southwest healthy.